looking for a plan B. Well, today we have a very, very fantastic VVIP, somebody that I admire throughout my years of doing Nu Skin. I just want to go through a little bit of slideshow and share a bit about this amazing guy. This guy, he is is a lieutenant colonel. This is in his younger years, and was a man of the year. So this guy, basically, don't play with this guy. He knows his stuff. And of course, he's by profession is a PhD in civil engineering. Now, I know civil engineering. I'm an engineer, but a PhD in civil engineering, my goodness, right? And he was also, and as you can see here, he was the top financial planner with a master's in applied finance and CFA before he joined Nu Skin Enterprises. So think of that kind of credibility, that kind of wisdom or experience that he has in the financial world. He has an amazing family, something that inspires me every day. They are one of the most active families I know. They are all sports persons and very inspiring stories, I might add. They are extremely fit. I probably have to do a set of TR90 before I go visit him, just to make sure I'm as he is a really giving man, a man with heart. You just feel that when you talk to him. And it really is loving. He's been invited to Malawi as well, which is awesome. He loves traveling, adventure. This is just an amazing. No, normally people take the train to this place. He hikes 1 week to this place. Okay, so that tells you what he does. So his entire family, there's I think they're here, yeah, and went to Kilimanjaro. This is one of the highest places in Africa, and as you can see, a patriot as well. This is in Nepal recently, 2018, and the Jade Mountain in Taiwan. All right, so this guy, yeah, we get the message. He likes to climb stuff. And he's been on TR90, TRA for many years, and I sneak this picture in because I just want to let everybody know that, at 65, he looks golden at 65, okay? And it has sustained throughout the years, and we have I have such a immense respect for Dr. James Chia. We are really good friends. This is a place where he only takes his favorite fans. Okay, so that's me. This is a grilled cheese sandwich hidden somewhere in Singapore. I don't know where it is, and we get to learn his lesson. And as you all know, he wrote the book, The Financial Planner's View of MLM, which really is, it becomes a guidebook to a lot of people coming into the business. And we get tons and tons of this book because it's so much wisdom in there, especially from a financial planner point of view. So without further ado, I think, I think he's blushing right now, but I definitely would like to invite Dr. James Chia, a COE and Presidential Director for 10 years to join us today. So let me just unhide the slide. James, are you on board?
Yep, I'm here. Thank you. Thank you, Willie.
Oh. You look great, by the way.
Yep. Okay. I had to dress up for you guys. That's the price of that's the price of knowing you.
Well, thank you so much for joining today. I know you're busy climbing some mountain or something, preparing yourself, but we're very inspired by your story. And today I'd like to ask you a few questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So maybe briefly, kind of tell us, how you kind of stepped into this business. I got some following questions with you, but just to kind of warm things up a bit, how did you come into this business?
Okay. Maybe I share with you my background. I actually wanted to make the army my career when I finished my national service. But I thought I better get a degree just in case something went wrong, forgot to salute someone. So I went to study civil engineering, and I didn't finish until I was 29 years old. I accidentally ended up with a PhD in civil engineering, came back, and then decided that I would actually do engineering. Okay, so I worked in construction, and I remember at age 40, okay, I hadn't been on leave for 5 years. I was bored, looking for a challenge, and actually at that time, I could see that I had another 10 good years with the company, but the company had a policy almost a policy that at age 50, 52, its senior general managers would be asked to leave and be replaced by someone much younger. And I said, look, if I left, if they asked me to leave at 52, how do I start something new? I better do something now. So I left the industry and I went to sell life insurance. Okay, I went to sell life insurance. Those days, you didn't need any qualifications to sell life insurance. You just no O levels, nothing. Okay, unlike today, you got to pass exams. All you needed to do was wear a tie, and you can go and sell life insurance. So I did that. I went back to school. I did a master's in applied finance in NUS. I got my CFA, CFP qualifications, and then went on to become one of the top financial planners in the region. So you ask me, how did someone with this kind of background get to, sell skincare? And that's when, that's because I got a call from Junwen. Junwen was the first one that came onto the series with Willing. I got a call from this guy, Tan Junwen, who I, met maybe 3 times in the last 5 years through a mutual friend. He called me, he said that Nu Skin had just come into Singapore, and that was beginning of 2001, 19 years ago. Nu Skin had just come into Singapore and he signed up to do the business. Now I did a double take because this guy came from the top school in Singapore. He was a government scholar, and left the government service after only 4 years. I went into stockbroking. So at that time he was 42 years old, had been in stockbroking for 15 years, very, very successful. And he was doing a housewife business, selling like Tupperware and all this. I was curious. So I listened to him, and he said that the guy who introduced him to the business was one of his biggest clients, a guy called Robert Howe, Bob. Okay, Bob went to Yale University, had an MBA from Harvard. At that time, he was president and chief investment officer of AIG in Japan. So I looked at these two people. Okay, this is what I call smart money. They were doing this. So my wife and I checked it out, and very, very quickly, we decided to get involved. Now we didn't have any financial needs at that time, so it wasn't a why. Okay, it was just a why not. Okay, so there was no big why. It was a why not, and the why not was simply, I thought it was a great idea to have just $2,000 Singapore dollars a month in recurring income in my retirement. I told myself if I didn't need it, I could always give it away. So, we started building the Nu Skin business along with my financial planning practice for 7 years. I remember, you remember the global financial crisis in 2008. Okay, that's when big companies, established companies, collapsed, like Lehman Brothers and all that. And and the global financial crisis made the idea of losing money for other people less attractive. So, by that time I had seen Nu Skin at close hand, had solid belief in this vehicle. And I remember in 2008, I gave up all my professional engineering licenses. I had a license to practice in the UK and Singapore, gave up all my investment and insurance licenses to focus on only one source of income.
Oh my
and
goodness.
I think that's been the best decision I've made.
Wow. I mean, for some people, that's like, that's unheard of. That's like, how can you do this, right? And I love the part where you say, it's not that I needed the money, it really was, why not? And from that small goal of earning $2,000 to now, I think that's kind of surprised you, I think, along the years.
Yeah, Willing, I just want to go back and say that at the time when Junwen introduced this business to us, I was working 12, 14 hours a day. The whole financial planning industry was about to be changed. So it wasn't as if I was free and looking for something to do. And I guess that's a big lesson. When someone recommends something and you have you look at possibilities, it's just about trying. If it didn't work out, we could have stopped. So, but no harm trying.
Got it. Now that's some wisdom there, guys. All right. Now, James, I got the next question. Now, this is a pretty heavy question. We have heard amazing stories about you. I've met you for so many years, and about how you decided to leave behind 900,000 Singapore dollars of unclaimed commission in your previous financial planning, right, career, and then jumped into New Zealand, like you just said just now. I mean that's unthinkable to a lot of people. I mean, what was going on in your mind at that time?
Okay, well, I didn't leave actually. I was doing financial planning. I was doing financial planning while we were building the New Skin business. There was this sum of amount of money which we had to leave behind with another company when we did a switch. But I had calculated, and later I'll have an opportunity to share, that the asset that we create is just worth far more than that. It was a financial decision.
Mm-hmm. I think guys, we're coming into this business. A lot of you coming to this business. I don't think any one of us comes with a unclaimed $900,000 worth. And I think I'd like to know about what that asset is about. Now, let me jump into your famous book. It's widely available. Not widely available. I mean, it's widely known, and I think it's available on Amazon as well. Right? So, being an author of the book, The Financial Planner's View of Network Marketing, it really struck me. What was the key message that you wish to get out across at that time? And is it still valid now? I mean, the message that you want that book, is it still valid now?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Willing, for that question. Actually, people look at me, they see my discipline, they think I'm a very focused, goal-oriented person. Actually, it's not. I go along with the flow with a lot of things. I'm completely disorganized. I don't plan ahead more than 2 days. So again, this book there was no big why for this book. It was more a response to a challenge to create a wow. I was in a leadership program, and my coach said, look, why don't you create a wow for yourself? Why don't you write so I said, okay, I'll write this book in 1 month. So I wrote it in 1 month. I mean, how much deliberation is there when you have to come up with a book in 1 month, So when I wrote the book to write a book, not to sell it. In fact, my mentor and co-author of that book, Ong Hock Siew, who was former CEO of Sabah Bank, and he'd written several books. He warned me that I would have several hundred copies of unsold books under my bed. And that's why if you read the book, there's a little CV at the back. He said, you better write a little CV at the back so you can give away these books as name cards. No one's going to buy them. But somehow this book has had 4 reprints selling thousands of copies.
Wow.
So if we want to look at lessons, I always learn lessons in hindsight. Looking back, I think the book had 2 messages. The first lesson is you don't know what you don't know. Okay, I don't know what I don't know. It's impossible to know what's possible. So because I just did that book, something came out of it that was just blew our minds. Okay, the second clear message has related to the contents of the book. And I was very, very clear that network marketing, or MLM, is a complete financial plan. First of all, the simple logic. My sponsor Junwen said, "Look, do you prefer addition or multiplication?" Anyone knows that multiplication is better than addition. But MLM is a complete financial plan, because in a normal financial plan, what you do is you buy insurance, okay, in case something goes wrong. Okay, then you do investment, because you need to invest so that you can draw down on the investment for during the years of retirement. And then when you retire, not all of us can plan to finish all our money exactly the day we die. There's some left behind. And so we have an inheritance plan. How can we leave it to our beneficiaries, our charities, or our family? Okay. MLM has all these components: insurance, in case you lose your job, or in case you don't want to work, or you can't work. It's the investment, it's an asset that continues to give you recurring income. And of course, you can pass over this business to people. But in MLM, you have got a 4th eye, and that is income. Okay, you can't benefit from insurance plan until something goes wrong. But with MLM, you can earn income immediately, and that's what is the beautiful thing about this plan.
Wow.
In investment terms, if you talk about investment terms with an investment person, basically, you're talking about risk and reward. This is an investment that has got low risk and such a high return. In fact, the reason why people don't earn more is because they have enough and they stop working. But it's really unlimited exponential growth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this whole issue is such a logical thing, is dealing with the left brain. It's just absolutely the most sensible choice. But what I discovered as I walked this journey is that MLM doesn't address just financial, but non-financial aspects of life, like how you grow as a person, you know, how you give to people. I mean, look at your, you know, mate, make a difference, you know, every day. That's one of the first things that come to people's minds. Now, you ask me, is it still valid? Well, I've had, you know, from day one, I had a leader from a send company buy 1,000 copies a day one. And just recently, about 3 months ago, a big leader from Kangen just bought 250 copies. He wanted more, but actually I sold out after the 4 weeks. I don't have any more for myself. I said I have to buy back from you if I need it.
Wow. Definitely. I mean, you know, this book is in my my shelf, and I have multiple copies of it, waiting for anybody, you know, or I pass it out to people to just open up people's minds. What Dr. James mentioned, you don't know what you don't know, and I think that a lot of us here need to be able to humble ourselves to go and learn what we don't know.
Yep.
And there's a lot of wisdom in that book. Let me tell you that. So James, next question. Earning $1 million, and I know you earn more than $1 million from Nu Skin already, touching probably the COE level 2 very soon. So earning $1 million in Nu Skin, just saying, versus earning $1 million in elsewhere, okay, in other businesses, right? How does it differ from a financial planner's point of view?
Okay. You know, a financial planner, if you look at financial planning, there's actually 2 goals of wealth. So we're helping to plan for our clients. Okay, there's 2 goals of wealth. The first goal is to get, okay, to accumulate. You know, you want to build an asset. And that's the normal goal because we start off, we don't have much, so we want to accumulate this asset. And, you know, you talk a lot about Robert Kiyosaki, his 4 cash flow quadrants, you know, the employee and the self-employed person. You know, he works for an income, but the business person and the investor, they build an asset. I think the key thing here is that you want to look at an income versus an asset. Let me share with you just a very simple story. You know, I had a partner when he was 35 years old. He and his wife, that was many years ago, after 1 year doing the Nu Skin business, was just earning was earning $1,000 a month part-time, okay, on top of their combined income of $10,000. And I asked him, are you happy with this? He didn't say he was unhappy, but he didn't say he was happy because he can't replace the $10,000. He has to do this on top of their full-time jobs and looking after 2 young kids. I told him, you need to be really, really happy because $1,000 a month of recurring income is $12,000 a year. It's as if you have a $600,000 asset, a $600,000 apartment that's giving you 2% return, $1,000 a month rental. You know, if you had carried on just doing your work without doing Nu Skin, how much would you have saved at the end of a year in your situation? Not even $10,000, but here you have created an asset worth $600,000. So it's understanding that we're building an asset, okay, and an asset, tremendous value. And that's why Junwen, you know, as a director of sales for a listed stockbroking company, left to do Nu Skin full-time after 11 months because he could create more wealth. Okay, it's income versus asset. In a traditional asset, you draw down this asset. You know, in MLM, the asset has the potential to continue to grow. So the first part about wealth is you want to get wealth. But the second and important part about wealth, as a financial planner, I see is to give wealth, to contribute to charity. When I work with people who we've got enough money, you know, we work on their trust, we work on their charities. I mean, you look at Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, all that, they focus almost full-time on how to give away that money. And giving is much easier, let me tell you, when you've got a pipeline where the money keeps coming in, okay, so that you don't have to You don't have to save some for yourself, your rainy day. You know it's coming in. You give it away, it'll come in again. And so you're able to, to really maximize the wealth you have, not just to get it, but to give it away. That's the biggest difference about this industry.
Wow, that really is, that's very inspiring. Get wealth and then know the difference between income and asset. Guys, that's huge. Getting $1,000 may not be a lot, but that is equivalent to $600,000 worth of asset that generates that much passive income for you. That is huge. I was thinking while I was just listening to Dr. James that, when was it the last time you had a financial planner telling you, this kind of information? Nowhere in the world can you find a financial planner who knows network marketing, who would teach you how to do it and tells you that it is a better financial plan. All right. James, I've got, a couple questions left. So right now we're in this COVID-19 kind of situation, okay? And it has really, thrown the financial plannings of a lot of people off track. I mean, their stocks and the markets, and erratic and all that kind of stuff. It's unpredictable. So what would you advise as a financial planner? What would you advise? I mean, knowing what we know now, what would you advise people to do to safeguard their own financial future?
Okay, Willing. Well, one, it's very hard to get people to do anything, to change. That's why you call it as momentum. Once you're doing something or you got a habit, it's difficult to change. And one reason why people don't do anything is because they don't know the danger. And so the blessing of COVID-19 is that it's made the dangers clear. It's like a bright light that exposes all the flaws. It's like X-ray that reveals the rot inside you. Okay, and so we know how exposed we are in this situation. Okay, look, the journey of life is a stormy sea. What do you do when you have to go in stormy seas? You build a lifeboat. Okay, so that's why we buy insurance. That's why we invest in safe assets. That's why we have a plan B. Use this term plan B a lot. But what if your lifeboat could actually be your cruise ship? What if it could grow? It could make you rich and actually become your plan A. So I think COVID-19 has shortcut this process of us doing network marketing part-time on top of something. It makes us say, hey, we just go straight into it and build it and become successful straight away. So the question I want to ask everyone, and this is, you could be an insurance agent now, planning for people. I said, what is your lifeboat? You're planning for people. What is your own lifeboat that can last the stormy seas? And my message, for MLM has always been the need for reliable, recurring income during the long years of retirement afterward. I focused on retirement when I started financial planning, and you look at the years of retirement after, that's 40 to 50 years. Okay, so what COVID-19, I think, has done is to simply brought forward the need for this reliable, recurring income some 30 to 40 years. You think that this is for people who are retiring, but no, the millennials now, you want to get married, you want to raise a family, you need a reliable source of income that's hitched to inflation and growing to match the increasing expenses of a growing family. So you need it. Okay, and that's what this opportunity has given us.
Wow. That really... go ahead, James, go ahead.
Yeah, this is not going to be the last crisis. Okay, I hope it is, but I know it won't. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to build financial resilience. And I thought of 3 strategies. Okay, number one, you need to spread the risk. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, that's an investment portfolio thing. Okay? And you've heard me say many times, it's better to earn 1% from 100 people than 100% from your own effort. And as we get older, it's great to become less important, and not a critical factor in this. I mean, if you organize this whole series, but I can tell you, if you walked out from this and went on holiday like you've done last year, the business will carry on, and that's really good. You're spreading the risk. The second strategy to build financial resilience is to go global. Okay, go global because you spread the risk, you enlarge the market, and that's what exposed people the people whose markets are in just one place and it's shut down, they're finished. Okay. And the last strategy is go for products with a perpetual demand. Beauty, people always want to look good. Health, you want to stay healthy. Nothing more miserable than being sick. But most important of all, people need an income. If you're going to live to 100 years old, my goodness me, you better have a source of income. So that's something that people perpetually are going to demand. So build financial resilience with these strategies.
Wow. I hope you guys are taking notes, guys. This doesn't come cheap. You have number one, spread risk. You have number two,
go global.
Go
Go global.
Go global, right? Go global. And number three, a product with perpetual demand. Isn't that cool sounding? Perpetual demand. Okay, final question. I know everybody else says, I want to ask more questions, but we don't have a lot of time. Okay, so, James, you have achieved financial freedom, and your children are working adults, and they're fantastic. They're just awesome people. You are guys, close your ears. You're 65, okay? You're 65. Why are you still so passionate about Nu Skin business? I think that's on top of a lot of questions. Why are you still doing this? You're 65.
Okay, so I've benefited financially. Nu Skin has been a good financial plan, but there's more to life than money. And I saw that, I suspected that at the start, because at the start, when I joined the business, I saw leaders who were earning $100,000, $200,000 US a month, still doing a business. They have passive income. Why are they doing this? They must have been doing this for more than money. And so I discovered one of the unexpected benefits that I wasn't looking for at 47 was my health. I've had to keep healthy. We have got tremendous diets in Malaysia and Singapore, food selections which are largely unhealthy. Okay, so I've had to keep healthy to be a product of the products. And then I discovered the age lock solution, the elixir for youth. That's a huge benefit. The third huge benefit, or the close relationships with so many positive people who actually appreciate me. To eat and play alone is not as much fun. You know that. So if I go back to Bob, the person who sponsored Junwen, to use his terms, I came for the annuity, the recurring income. I gained immunity, but I stayed for the community. Now today I'm reading this book called The 100-Year Life, about living in an age of longevity. The book is obviously a wake-up call because of the financial and health challenges that living to 100 poses. But it also offers the clearest demonstration that a 100-year life can be a wonderful, fulfilling, and inspiring one. I'm in my mid-60s. WHO says that I'm actually just middle-aged, but COVID-19 tells me I'm actually old, I'm expendable. I have 30 to 50 years ahead. After nearly 20 years with Nu Skin, when I reflect on this, I think it's even more crucial for me to have a clearly compelling desire and not slack off into the sunset. Nu Skin was my vehicle for retirement income. Now that I'm comfortable, I can actually ease off the pedal and relax. But that's dangerous, because if I've got nothing to die for, then I've got nothing to live for. And that makes life meaningless and unfulfilling. It's like being a vegetable, which I think is almost as bad as being a vegetarian. So I just share with you as we last, is actually my dream is to give away 95% of what I earn. And I'm far away from that. I've got much work ahead of me. And I thank God for partners like you. I thank God for Nu Skin that will keep me on my toes and and do this work together.
Wow, guys, you don't know how lucky and blessed we are to kind of get that kind of. I love it, All right, guys. You guys, should wake up today and say, "Wow, I'm happy to be alive today." Last question, Dr. James, really is, and I asked most of all 6 VIP guests this question. So, what do you think your life would be if you didn't do Nu Skin? I know it's a bit rhetorical, but hey, what would you do? What would your life be?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Well, I never think about these things, but I think I would be less fit. I think I would be less resilient to all the disappointments that come in a business where you got to talk to so many people who don't need the product, who don't are not interested. Okay. I think I would be a less compassionate and caring person. I would be alone, I think, with just with the little time that we have doing our conventional work. You only have so much time to spend time with people building a relationship. But here we have people all around the world, who care for us, who love us because of who they are and because of the time freedom. So I think for me, the biggest thing is just not having anything to worry about. That really, really worry, when your back is to the wall. Yes. But yet, with people whose dreams are big enough so that, I can go on to go and grow and contribute. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'd be, it's simple. I'd be a vegetable.
Well, James, I mean, sometimes outside when people look at your book and look at your picture, people look at your posters, they say, oh, this guy is like that. Of course not, he can be like this. But I think, when we talk to you this way, and allow you to kind of share all sorts of questions, I think for a lot of people, I'm speaking to a lot of people here today that, we get to glimpse the human being. We get to glimpse the person behind the poster, the behind that image, and the real person emerges. And I think a lot of you here who are touched, inspired by what you hear from Dr. James Chia is not just inspired by what Nu Skin does, but what he represents. And I for one, I want to thank you so much, James, for sharing your heart, your wisdom, and your experience to all of us. I think you have touched many, many people's lives today. Thank you, James. Appreciate it. And James, is anything you want to say to the team? Any last words you want to say? Just say.
If I need some books, I'll buy them from you. Really.
All right, guys. Now, we just heard a fantastic interview from